The alarm bells rang through the medical ship Healing Dawn as it moved through space toward the mining planet. Dr. Lisa Carter ran down the white hallway, her medical bag bouncing against her hip. She had been a combat medic for 8 years, but this was different. This was her first mission to help aliens. "Dr. Carter, we're getting close to the planet," Captain Jake Murphy said over the ship's speakers. "The situation down there is bad. Really bad." Lisa reached the medical bay where her team was getting ready. Tony Rodriguez was checking his medical supplies for the 3rd time. He always did that when he was nervous. Amy Foster was reading reports. On her tablet, her face serious. "What do we know?" Lisa asked. Amy looked up from her tablet. "The Zephrine colonists started getting sick 3 weeks ago. Their own doctors can't figure out what's wrong. People are dying every day. They asked for help from anyone who would listen." The Zephrines were tall, thin aliens with blue skin and large eyes. They had been mining rare metals on this planet for 50 years. They were peaceful people who never bothered anyone. That's why it was strange that they were getting sick all at once. "Their symptoms don't match anything in our medical books," Tony said. He was the best medic Lisa had ever worked with. If he was worried, then this was serious. Fever, weakness, and then their organs start shutting down. It's killing them fast. Lisa nodded. "Then we better move fast, too." The Healing Dawn landed at the main colony. Through the windows, Lisa could see the Zephrine buildings made of smooth gray stone. But something was wrong. The streets that should have been busy were almost empty. Only a few Zephrines moved around, and they moved slowly, like they were very tired. Captain Murphy met them at the landing bay. He was a good captain who cared about his crew. "I'm sending down extra security with you," he said. "This whole situation feels strange to me." "Strange how?" Lisa asked. 3 other colonies in this system got sick at the same time. That doesn't happen by accident." Murphy's face was hard. Someone might have done this on purpose. Lisa felt cold. The idea that someone would make innocent people sick on purpose was horrible. But she had seen horrible things before. Humans weren't always good to each other, and aliens might be the same way. The team took a transport vehicle to the colony's hospital. The Zephrine who met them was named Healer Vash. He was tall even for his people, but he looked tired and sad. "Thank you for coming," Vash said in good English. "We have lost so many. My own daughter is sick. I don't know what else to do." Lisa put her hand on his arm. "We're here to help. Show us your patience." The hospital was full of sick Zephrines, lying on beds. The smell of sickness was strong in the air. Lisa had seen war zones that looked better than this. The patients were all stages of the same disease. Some were just starting to get sick. Others were close to dying. "Tony, start taking blood samples," Lisa said. "Amy, I want you to check their vital signs. I'm going to talk to their doctors about what treatments they've tried." For the next 6 hours, the human medical team worked without stopping. Lisa had never seen a disease like this one. It attacked the patient's immune systems first, then moved to their organs. The Zephrine medicine couldn't stop it. But humans had dealt with diseases like this before. During the plague years on Earth, they had learned how to fight illnesses that attacked the immune system. Lisa started to see a pattern. "This isn't natural," she told Tony while they worked on a young Zephrine patient. "Someone made this disease." Tony looked up from his medical scanner. "You mean like a weapon?" "Maybe. Or maybe someone wanted to test something and didn't care who got hurt." Lisa felt angry. Making people sick was one of the worst things anyone could do. Amy came over to them. "I have good news and bad news. The good news is I think our human antibiotics might work on them. The bad news is we don't have enough for everyone." Lisa thought for a moment. "How much do we have?" "Maybe enough for 50 patients. There are over 300 sick people here." Lisa made a hard choice. "We treat the children first, then the adults who aren't as sick. Maybe they can get better and help us treat the others." It was a terrible choice to make. It meant some people might die while they waited, but it was the only way to save as many as possible. They worked through the night. Slowly, some of the patients started to get better. The human medicine was working. Healer Vash's daughter was one of the first to improve. When she opened her eyes and smiled, Vash started to cry. You saved her, he said to Lisa. You saved them all. But Lisa knew. This was just the beginning. If someone had made this disease on purpose, they might do it again, and next time they might target the people trying to help. Captain Murphy called them on the radio. Dr. Carter, we're getting reports from other systems. More colonies are getting sick. They're all asking for human medical teams to help them. Lisa looked around the hospital. So many people were getting better because humans had come to help. This was what humanity did best. They helped others even when it was dangerous. Tell them we're coming, she said. She didn't know that far away, in a dark meeting room, alien leaders were watching reports about human medical teams. They were not happy that humans were helping people get better. They thought it made other species too strong and independent. They were already making plans to stop the humans from helping. They were making plans to hurt the helpers. 2 weeks after saving the Zephrine colony, Dr. Lisa Carter was on another planet called Sigma Draconis. This planet was different from the peaceful mining world. Here, 2 alien groups had been fighting a war for 10 years. The fighting had stopped 3 days ago, but many people were hurt and needed help. Lisa's medical team was bigger now. Tony Rodriguez and Amy Foster were still with her, but they had 6 more medics and nurses. Captain Jake Murphy had wanted to send soldiers to protect them, but Lisa said no. We're medical personnel, she told him. We wear the White Cross symbol. Everyone in the galaxy knows that means we help people, not fight them. We'll be safe. Murphy didn't look happy. I don't like it, Doctor. This place gives me a bad feeling. But Lisa was sure they would be okay. For 3 months, human medical teams had been helping sick and hurt people all over the galaxy. No one had ever attacked a medical team. It was against every rule of war that civilized people followed. The team took 3 medical vehicles marked with big red crosses. The vehicles were white and had no weapons. Everyone could see they were there to help, not fight. Lisa rode in the first vehicle with Tony and 2 other medics. Amy was in the second vehicle with more medical supplies. The third vehicle carried extra medicine and equipment. They were driving to a refugee camp where thousands of people needed medical care. The camp was in a valley between 2 hills. It should have been a 20-minute drive from where their ship landed. Look at all the damage, said Tony, looking out the window. The war had destroyed many buildings. Burned vehicles sat on the sides of the road. It made Lisa sad to see how much the fighting had hurt this place. The first vehicle reached the top of a hill. Below them, they could see the refugee camp. Thousands of people were living in temporary shelters. Many of them were hurt or sick. Lisa felt good knowing they could help these people. That's when the shooting started. Laser blasts hit the ground around their vehicle. The driver, a young medic named Pete Davis, tried to turn the vehicle around. We're under attack, he yelled. Lisa grabbed the radio. This is Medical Team 7. We are non-combatants. We have wounded people to treat. Stop shooting. But the shooting didn't stop. It got worse. Lisa looked through the window and saw soldiers in black armor coming out from behind. Rocks and trees. She had never seen armor like that before. These weren't the local fighters from this planet, these were someone else. Who are they? Tony asked. Before Lisa could answer, a laser blast hit their vehicle's engine. Smoke started coming from the front. Pete tried to keep driving, but the vehicle was dying. Lisa looked back and saw the second medical vehicle. Amy was inside that one. A group of black-armored soldiers was surrounding it. They were pointing their weapons at it, even though everyone could see the big red medical cross painted on the side. They know we're medics, Lisa said. She felt scared and confused. Why are they attacking us? The third vehicle tried to escape, back down the road. Lisa watched as the soldiers shot at its wheels. The vehicle crashed into a ditch. Their own vehicle finally stopped working. Pete tried to restart it, but nothing happened. Lisa could see the black-armored soldiers walking toward them. Everyone stay calm, Lisa said. Remember, we're protected by galactic law. They can't hurt medical personnel. But when the soldiers reached their vehicle, they didn't act like they cared about galactic law. Their leader was tall and had strange markings on his armor. When he took off his helmet, Lisa saw he wasn't from any species she knew. His skin was dark red and his eyes were yellow. Get out, the soldier said in rough English. Lisa and her team got out slowly. We're medical personnel, Lisa said, pointing to the red cross on her uniform. We're here to help wounded people. We're not part of any army. The red-skinned alien looked at her. I know what you are, that's why you're here. Lisa didn't understand. What do you mean? I am War Commander Vextar of the Hegemony Forces. We have been watching you humans. You think you can make the galaxy, soft with your healing. You make weak species think they can survive without being strong. Lisa felt cold. You're attacking us because we help people. We're attacking you because you help the wrong people. Vextar looked at his soldiers. Take the supplies, kill the men, keep the women for questioning. Tony stepped in front of Lisa. You can't do this. We're non-combatants. It's against every law. Vextar pulled out a weapon. Your human laws don't matter here. The weapon fired. Tony fell to the ground and didn't move. Lisa screamed and tried to reach him, but two soldiers grabbed her arms. From the other vehicles, she could hear more shooting. She saw Amy being dragged out of the second medical vehicle. Amy was alive but hurt. Other medics weren't so lucky. Why? Lisa asked Vextar. Why are you doing this? Because the galaxy needs to learn that being weak gets you killed. Your species teaches others that they can be soft and safe. We're going to show them what happens to soft people. The soldiers put Lisa, Amy, and 3 other surviving medics into a black transport vehicle. As they drove away, Lisa could see the medical vehicles burning. She could see her team members lying on the ground, not moving. Pete Davis, the young driver, was still alive but badly hurt. Lisa tried to help him, but the soldiers wouldn't let her. They just watched as he got weaker. Please, Lisa begged. Let me help him, he's just a kid. Vextar laughed. This is what happens to people who think they can heal the galaxy. The strong survive. The weak die. Your human softness dies with them. As their transport flew away, Lisa saw smoke rising from other places on the planet. She realized this wasn't just an attack on her team. This was bigger. Much bigger. She was right. At that same moment, hegemony forces were attacking human medical facilities on 12 different planets. Hospitals were burning. Medical ships were being destroyed. Hundreds of doctors, nurses, and medics were dying. The message was clear. The hegemony wanted humanity's compassion erased from the galaxy, but they had made a very big mistake. They thought human kindness was weakness. They didn't know that humans could be something else when their healers were threatened. They didn't know about the sleeping monster they had just awakened. The news reached Earth 3 hours after the attacks began. Admiral Susan Blake was eating breakfast when her emergency communicator started beeping. She had been in the military for 30 years, but she had never heard a sound like the one coming from her device. Admiral Blake here, she said. Ma'am, you need to get to headquarters right now, said Captain Ryan Wells, her intelligence officer. His voice was shaking. Something terrible has happened. 20 minutes later, Admiral Blake sat in the command center watching reports come in from across the galaxy. Each report was worse than the last. Medical stations destroyed. Hospital, ships attacked and burning. Doctors and nurses killed while trying to help wounded people. How many? She asked. Captain Wells looked at his notes. His hands were shaking. So far we count attacks on 15 planets. At least 300 medical personnel are dead. Maybe more. They targeted every single human medical facility they could find. Admiral Blake felt sick. In all her years of military service, she had never seen anything like this. Attacking medical people was something that civilized beings just didn't do. Do we know who did this? She asked. The hegemony. They're calling it Operation Clean Sweep. They want to remove all human medical influence from the galaxy. Ambassador Kyle Harrison walked into the room. He was the human representative to the Galactic Council. He looked like he hadn't slept in days. I just came from an emergency council meeting, Harrison said. I tried to get them to condemn the attacks. I tried to get them to help us. What did they say? Admiral Blake asked. Harrison sat down heavily. Nothing. They're all too scared of the hegemony to speak up. Even our friends won't help us. The Cetaceans said they're sorry for our loss but won't take sides. The Andromedans said it's not their business. Admiral Blake felt angry. For 5 years, humans had helped anyone who asked. They had saved millions of lives. They had asked for nothing in return. And now, when humans needed help, no one would stand with them. "What about the survivors?" she asked. Captain Wells pulled up another report. "Some medical teams escaped. Captain Murphy got away with a few people, but we have confirmed that Dr. Lisa Carter and several others were captured. The hegemony is holding them prisoner." Admiral Blake thought about Dr. Carter. She had met her, once at a ceremony for medical heroes. Carter was a good person who had saved hundreds of lives. The idea of her being held by the same people who had killed her friends made Admiral Blake's blood boil. "There's something else," Captain Wells said. "We intercepted a hegemony transmission. They're planning more attacks. They want to make sure no human medical personnel are left alive in their territory." The room went quiet. Everyone understood what this meant. The hegemony wasn't just trying to stop human medical aid. They were trying to kill every human doctor, nurse, and medic they could find. "Have you contacted the families?" Admiral Blake asked. "We're doing that now. But Admiral, there's something you need to see first." Captain Wells put a video on the main screen. "Dr. Carter managed to send us this before she was captured." The video showed Lisa Carter in a damaged medical vehicle. Behind her, they could hear explosions and gunfire. Her face was dirty and she looked scared, but her voice was steady. "This is Dr. Lisa Carter, Medical Team 7. We are under attack by hegemony forces. They are specifically targeting medical personnel. They killed Tony Rodriguez while he was trying to protect wounded civilians. They're destroying our medical supplies and vehicles." The video shook as another explosion went off nearby. "They want us to stop helping people. They think our compassion makes the galaxy weak. But they're wrong. Helping others is what makes us strong. Don't let them win. Don't let them stop us from helping people who need it." The video ended. Everyone in the room was quiet for a long moment. Admiral Blake stood up. "Get me the President. Get me the Defense Secretary. Get me everyone on the Terran Defense Council. We're having an emergency meeting in 1 hour." "What are you thinking, Admiral?" Harrison asked. Admiral Blake looked at him. "I'm thinking the hegemony has made the biggest mistake in galactic history. They think we're weak because we help people. They're about to learn how wrong they are." 1 hour later, the entire Terran Defense Council was meeting. The President was there by video link. So were military leaders, intelligence officers, and government officials from around Earth. Admiral Blake presented the evidence. Videos of the attacks, lists of the dead, reports of the systematic targeting of medical personnel. When she finished, the room was completely silent. "They crossed a line," said the President. "They didn't just attack our people. They attacked the idea that some people should be protected. They attacked the idea that healing is sacred." "What are our options?" asked the Defense Secretary. Admiral Blake took a deep breath. "We have one option that we've never used before. One option we swore we would only use if humanity itself was threatened." Everyone in the room knew what she was talking about. There were rumors, stories whispered in dark corners of military bases, stories about soldiers who were different from normal peacekeepers, soldiers who were kept hidden and only used when there was no other choice. "You mean the Reapers?" said the Defense Secretary. Admiral Blake nodded. "The hegemony wants to see what humans are like when we're not being nice, when we're not trying to help people. When someone threatens the people who heal, we become something else entirely." The President was quiet for a long moment. "How many people know about the Reapers?" "Outside this room, maybe 50 people on all of Earth. The Reapers don't officially exist. There are no records, no budgets, no oversight committees." "And you think they can handle the hegemony?" Admiral Blake smiled, but it wasn't a nice smile. "The hegemony thinks they know what humans are capable of because they've seen our peacekeepers and medical teams. They've never seen our monsters. They don't know that we keep our monsters locked away precisely so we can be kind to people who deserve kindness." The vote was unanimous. For the first time in human history, Earth would deploy the Reapers against an alien enemy. As the meeting ended, Admiral Blake made one final call. She called a number that most people didn't know existed. When someone answered, She said only 4 words. Wake up the Reapers. Colonel Nathan Cross woke up in a room that had been dark for 3 years. The lights came on automatically when his body started moving. He sat up slowly and looked around the small, cold room that had been his home. On the wall, a screen showed a message. Code Black Authorization, full deployment. Target, Hegemony Forces. Mission, protect medical personnel. Rules of engagement, none. Nathan smiled. It wasn't a nice smile. He pressed a button on the wall. All around the hidden base, other lights were turning on. Other soldiers were waking up from long sleep. The Reapers were waking up. Nathan got dressed in his black uniform. It looked like a normal military uniform, but it wasn't. Built into the fabric were systems that made him faster and stronger. On his belt, he attached weapons that no other human soldiers were allowed to carry, weapons that were banned by every galactic treaty. He walked to the main briefing room. Other Reapers were already there. Sergeant Maya Thompson was checking her weapon. Lieutenant David Kim was reading mission reports on his tablet. Captain Sarah Miller was talking quietly with her squad leaders. These were not normal soldiers. They had been changed. Surgery had made their bones stronger and their muscles faster. Computer chips in their brains helped them think quicker in battle. They could see in the dark and hear sounds that normal people couldn't hear. Listen up, Nathan said to his soldiers. 3 days ago, the Hegemony attacked our medical teams. They killed doctors and nurses who were trying to help sick people. They captured others. They think they can scare us into stopping our medical missions. The room was completely quiet. Every Reaper was listening. They're wrong, Nathan continued. We've been sleeping for 3 years while our people spread peace and healing across the galaxy. Now someone has decided that our healers need to die, so we're going to show them what happens when you hurt the people we protect. Maya Thompson raised her hand. Sir, what are our orders? Nathan looked at her. Maya was one of his best soldiers. She had volunteered for the Reaper program after her family was killed in the resource wars. Like all Reapers, she had good reasons for becoming a monster. Find every Hegemony military facility. Destroy them. Find every Hegemony commander who ordered attacks on medical personnel. Kill them. Find our captured people. Bring them home. Don't let anyone stop you. What about prisoners? Asked Captain Miller. Take prisoners if they surrender immediately. If they fight back, don't waste time. Nathan's voice was cold. The Hegemony made their choice when they killed our medics. Now they live with the results. 6 hours later, Reaper ships were moving through space toward Hegemony territory. The ships were black and carried no identification marks. They were fast and armed with weapons that could destroy entire fleets. Nathan was on the lead ship with Maya's squad. Their first target was a Hegemony command station, where intelligence said some captured humans were being held. War Commander. Vextar was there too. Remember, Nathan told his team as they got ready to attack, we're not peacekeepers. We're not diplomats. We're not here to make friends. We're here to make the Hegemony wish they had never heard of human medical teams. Dr. Lisa Carter was in a small dark cell when the attack began. She had been there for 3 days. The Hegemony soldiers had questioned her about human medical techniques. They wanted to know how humans could cure diseases that other species couldn't cure. Lisa had told them nothing. She heard explosions somewhere above her. The lights in her cell went out, then came back on red. An alarm was making loud noises. What's happening? Amy Foster called from the cell next to hers. I don't know, Lisa said. But she felt hope for the first time in days. The explosions got closer. Lisa could hear gunfire and shouting. Then the sounds stopped. Footsteps came down the hallway toward their cells. Lisa expected to see Hegemony guards. Instead, she saw soldiers in black uniforms. Human soldiers, but different from any she had seen before. The lead soldier looked at her through the cell bars. Dr. Lisa Carter? Yes. I'm Sergeant Maya Thompson, Terran Reaper Corps. We're here to take you home. Maya used a small device to open the cell door. Are you hurt? No, but Amy is. And there are others. We'll get everyone. Maya helped Lisa out of the cell. Can you walk? Lisa nodded. How did you find us? Maya smiled, and Lisa felt a chill. It was the same kind of smile she had seen on War Commander Vextar's face, cold and dangerous. We asked the hegemony guards very nicely, Maya said. They were happy to help once we explained the situation to them. As they walked through the prison area, Lisa saw what Maya meant. Hegemony guards were lying on the floor, not moving. The black uniformed soldiers had gone through this place like a force of nature. What about the commander? Lisa asked. Vextar. He's the one who ordered the attacks. Colonel Cross is taking care of him personally, Maya said. In the command center of the station, Nathan Cross was facing War Commander Vextar. The alien leader was wounded, but still alive. His yellow eyes were full of hate and fear. You can't do this, Vextar said. There are rules, laws. Your own people will condemn what you're doing. Nathan looked at him. You killed our healers. You attacked people who were trying to help sick children. You think we care about rules now? We were trying to make the galaxy strong. Your softness makes other species weak. Nathan raised his weapon. Let me show you how soft we really are. The weapon fired once. As the Reapers left the destroyed command station with the rescued medical personnel, Nathan sent a message to all hegemony forces in the sector. This is Colonel Nathan Cross, Terran Reaper Corps. You have attacked our medical personnel. You have killed our healers. You wanted to see what humans are like when we're not being nice. You wanted to see what we do when someone threatens the people who help others. Now you know. Surrender now, or we will come for you next. We will not stop until every person who ordered attacks on medical teams is dead. We will not show mercy because you showed none. Choose wisely. The message spread across hegemony space. For the first time in their history, the hegemony leadership felt real fear. They had poked a sleeping monster, and now that monster was awake and very, very angry. On the rescue ship, Dr. Carter sat with Amy and the other freed medical personnel. Maya Thompson was treating Amy's injuries with gentle hands, very different from the soldier who had killed guards to rescue them. What happens now? Lisa asked. Maya looked up from her medical work. Now we go home, and the galaxy learns that there are consequences for hurting people who heal. Outside the ship's windows, more Reaper vessels were moving through space, hunting the rest of the hegemony forces. The real war was just beginning. 6 weeks after the Reapers were released, the war was over. The hegemony leadership sat in a white room on the neutral planet of Centauri Prime. They were there to sign surrender papers. 3 of the 5 species that had formed the hegemony had already left the alliance. They were too scared to stay. Supreme Commander Zektor looked across the table at Ambassador Kyle Harrison. The alien's hands were shaking as he picked up the surrender documents. We never meant for this to happen, Zektor said. Harrison looked at him with cold eyes. You killed doctors, you killed nurses, you killed people whose only job was to help others get better. What did you think would happen? Behind Harrison stood Colonel Nathan Cross. His black uniform was clean, but everyone in the room knew what he had done. In 6 weeks, the Reapers had destroyed 43 hegemony military bases. They had captured or killed every hegemony commander who had been involved in the attacks on medical teams. The galaxy had watched in shock as humanity's hidden soldiers moved through hegemony space like death itself. Ships that attacked medical vessels found themselves destroyed within hours. Bases that held captured medical personnel were reduced to rubble. Leaders who had ordered the attacks simply disappeared. Sign the papers, Harrison said. Zektor signed. His species would pay for the medical facilities they had destroyed. They would give up their military bases in 12 star systems. Most importantly, they would never again interfere with human medical missions. But that wasn't the only document being signed that day. In the Great Hall of the Galactic Council, representatives from 200 species were voting on new laws. The vote was not close. It was unanimous. The new law was simple. Any attack on medical personnel from any species would result in immediate intervention by Terran forces, not peacekeepers, not diplomats, Reapers. Ambassador Harrison read the law aloud to the council. Any government, organization, or individual that deliberately targets medical personnel, medical facilities, or medical vehicles will face immediate military response from the Terran Defense Force. This response will continue until all attacks cease and all medical personnel are returned safely. The Terran Defense Force is authorized to use any means necessary to protect medical workers. The council chamber was completely quiet. Every species understood what this meant. Humanity had shown them what happened when healers were threatened. No one wanted to see it again. After the vote, Harrison walked outside the council building. Dr. Lisa Carter was waiting for him. She was wearing her medical uniform again, but now she had 2 Reaper soldiers standing nearby. They went everywhere that human medical teams went now. "How do you feel about the new law?" Harrison asked her. Lisa thought for a moment. "It's necessary, but it makes me sad." "Why?" "Because for 5 years, we helped people because it was the right thing to do. Now we help people because everyone is afraid of what happens if they stop us." Harrison nodded. "Sometimes being right isn't enough. Sometimes you need people to be afraid to do the wrong thing." Lisa looked at the Reaper soldiers. Sergeant Maya Thompson gave her a small nod. Maya had been assigned to protect medical teams permanently. She was still a deadly soldier, but she was also surprisingly gentle with wounded people. "They're good people," Lisa said. "The Reapers, they're not monsters." "No," Harrison agreed. "They're just people who are very good at being monsters when they need to be." 3 months later, Dr. Lisa Carter was back in space on a new medical ship called the Second Chance. The ship was bigger than the Healing Dawn and had better medical equipment. It also had something the old ship didn't have: escort ships. 2 Black Reaper vessels followed the Second Chance wherever it went. They stayed far enough away that they didn't scare the people who needed medical help, but close enough that everyone knew they were there. Lisa was treating a sick child on the planet New Geneva when Captain Jake Murphy called her on the radio. "And Dr. Carter, we're getting a distress call from the Outer Rim. There's been an accident at a mining station. They need medical help." "How many injured?" Lisa asked. "Unknown. But doctor, there's something else. The mining station is in territory controlled by the hegemony remnants." Lisa thought about this. The remnants were what was left of the hegemony after the war. They were angry and desperate. They might try to attack medical teams again. "What do you think?" she asked Captain Murphy. "I think we have a job to do," Murphy said. "And I think anyone who tries to stop us will regret it very quickly." Lisa smiled. "Set course for the mining station, and tell our escorts where we're going." On one of the escort ships, Colonel Nathan Cross got the message. He looked at his soldiers. Maya Thompson was cleaning her weapon. The other Reapers were checking their equipment. Another medical mission, Nathan told them. Possible hostile territory. Maya looked up from her weapon. "Good. It's been too quiet lately." The ships moved through space toward the mining station. Along the way, they passed a hegemony patrol vessel. The patrol ship scanned the human medical ship and saw the Red Cross symbol on its side. The patrol ship also saw the black escort vessels with no markings. The patrol ship turned around and flew away very quickly. When they reached the mining station, Lisa and her team worked for 12 hours to help the injured miners. Many of them were aliens who had been hurt in an explosion. Lisa saved 17 lives that day. No one attacked them. No one even pointed a weapon at them. As they prepared to leave, the mining station commander thanked Lisa personally. "You saved my people," he said. "I know there are those who would try to stop you from helping us. I'm glad you came anyway." Lisa looked out the window at the black escort ships. "We'll always come when people need help. That's what we do. But now," she thought, "people know what happens to anyone who tries to stop us." Back on Earth, Admiral Susan Blake was reading reports in her office. Medical teams were busier than ever. Requests for help came in every day from across the galaxy. Species that had never asked for human aid before were now sending messages asking for medical assistance. "Captain," Ryan Wells knocked on her door. "Admiral, I have the monthly report on Reaper activities." "How many deployments?" "0. No one has attacked a human medical facility in 3 months. Admiral Blake smiled. "Good. That means they're working. The Reapers were still out there, still following the medical ships still ready to wake up if anyone was foolish enough to threaten humanity's healers again. But mostly, they slept, and the galaxy was a little bit safer because everyone knew they were there. Dr. Lisa Carter continued her work, healing the sick and helping the wounded. She carried her medical bag and wore her white coat with the Red Cross. But now she also carried the knowledge that somewhere nearby, deadly soldiers were watching over her. The galaxy had learned an important lesson. Humanity's greatest strength wasn't their compassion. It was that they chose compassion, even though they were capable of something much, much worse. And everyone remembered what happened to those who targeted the healers.